Hi and good day to everyone. Welcome to Reading and Writing Skills. Today we have another lesson to discuss. Okay, and we will have lesson number 3 for second quarter of Reading and Writing Skills, and the title of our lesson is Purposeful Writing and the Disciplines. Okay, let me share to everyone. Okay, the objectives of this lesson. Okay, at the end of this lesson, by the way, we are only in part number 1 of this lesson, and we will have, of course, part 2. Right? So, anyways, going back, these are the objectives of the lessons. At the end of this lesson, students are expected to first explain the crucial considerations in academic and professional writing. Next is for you to identify the unique features of and requirements in composing texts that are useful across all disciplines. Lastly, is for you to produce academic writings following properties of a well written text and process approach to writing. Right? So let's differentiate first what is subject and what is discipline. Okay? We don't call it subject discipline. They are a separate. Okay? Concept, and they are separate idea. Okay, we have a question. As you can see, why did the Titanic sink? This one question can be answered in so many ways. Okay, that's why we have this idea or thought that we called a discipline and subject, of course. Now, let us begin with the word discipline. Okay, as mentioned, discipline refers to the branch of academic study. For example, we have psychology, sociology, anthropology, mathematics, philosophy, and all other disciplines. Okay, so meaning if it's a larger okay, type of academic study, then that will be discipline. Now, we have subject. Subject refers to a branch of knowledge, okay, that we studied or taught in school. Okay, in school, you students learn numbers of subjects such as mathematics, science, language, history, social studies, religion, music, art, dance, health, and so many more. Okay, so if you're going to compare, of course, discipline is a larger, right? um concept than subject, because subject is very specific, okay, to what it's going to teach you, okay, or what you are going to learn. Next, we have what is no writing in the disciplines. No, again, writing in the discipline refers to writing assignments tailored to genres of a specific discipline or field. Writing in the discipline is also called as academic writing, and take note that it changes depending on the discipline that you're going to write about. Okay, expectations and requirements are, of course, different from one another. Right? We have sample here. For an instance, a science course. A science subject requires you students to write a laboratory report. Then the focus, okay, or the discipline is science. So you will be focusing only, okay, on what happened, okay, in the laboratory. Okay, meaning you have to be very objective. Okay, your emotions, your thoughts about it is not required. Okay, here, no, on the other side, we have a case study. Case study is one of the approaches or methods that we have when we do qualitative type of research. No, here it used in this discipline or field of sociology. Okay, so it assigns you to have a case study wherein you're going to what? Observe, research about, okay, social behaviors. Okay, now we have here a question. What is the first thing we must consider when we are writing? Okay, you can comment down below what are the things that you consider when you are writing. Now, I'll be revealing to you the three, okay, of the most important elements that we need to consider when we are writing. We have first our purpose, second is your audience, and lastly is your subject. Now, let's talk first about the purpose. Okay? Every time you engage in writing, okay, whether it is for academic purposes or for professional field, it is a requirement that you identify first your purpose. You have to ask yourself, Why am I going to write this? What am I supposed to share, okay, to my audience? Okay, is it because it's just required in school, or is it simply because I want to educate, persuade, inform other people? Our purpose when we are writing is very important. Take note, we are not writing for ourselves. We are writing for our readers. Right? Next. Generally, you write a paper merely to inform or to persuade or heating both of it in just one paper. Okay? Here we have our purpose statement. This one announces, okay, the purpose of the paper, the scope. Okay, when we say scope, it means the inclusion and exclusion, okay, of your paper. And of course, the direction of the paper. It tells your readers what to expect. You don't meet their expectations, you set the expectation for your readers. Again, we writers, we literally no, cannot write everything, okay, about a certain topic. Of course, we need to have just one focus. Okay, and purpose statement is that for because it will guide us. Okay, to know what we are going to write about for the rest of our paper. Okay, we have here some examples of purpose statement. Okay, these are just beginners starters. Okay, when you are writing. Paper examines, aim of this paper is to, the purpose of this essay is to, in this report I will, the purpose of this proposal is to request funding for so that our department will. Okay, in this memo, we will describe 4 cases of conflict in the workplace and how to avoid conflict. Later on, we'll talk about, on the part 2, we'll be talking about, okay, the project proposal. Next, the purpose of this email is to provide. We don't let, okay, our readers guess what we are going to talk about. We deliver it to them. Right? Next, what are the functions, okay, of purpose statement? First, it provides direction to your writing. You have this statement that you can, okay, always go back to. Okay, meaning if you check your work, is this something that still relates to my work or it's kind of irrelevant already? Kind far from the main idea. Okay, so that's one of the functions of purpose statement. Next, it provides your audience with the reason for the document. And lastly, it's provide your audience with an expectation or contract about why you are engaging their attention. We cannot waste no, people's time, people's attention because we have so many things to do. Okay, we have so many things to read about that caught our interest also. So as early as possible, you have to mention your purpose statement. And that's part of your introduction always when we are writing because you have to, okay, share it as early as possible so they know if they need to continue or not because we readers we have something to look for, most especially when we are referencing, right? So that's the goal, purpose statement here. Your objective when you are writing no would define the contents, the organization of your thoughts, level of your vocabulary, the level, okay, or language use that you're going to use. Here, you have to follow simplicity. When we say simplicity, meaning, okay, you have to, okay, see or show, I mean, to your readers, okay, the standard academic language, meaning it is a language that they can easily understood. Okay, again, we are not writing for ourselves, not writing to show off our vocabulary, but we want to inform other people, and we can only do that when they can understand what we are trying to inform to them. Okay, and even the format of your written output. Again, all of the writings, okay, might it be a book review, article, critic, it has a format or components, requirements that we need to follow. Okay, and lastly, according to Mills and Walther, 1978, the writer must decide what the specific purpose of his report is and make sure that every part of his report contributes to that purpose. Next, we have here the audience. Okay, of course, it's very important. We have to take note, bear in mind that we are writing for our readers, and those are our audience. Okay, this is for them. Okay, it's important for you to know as a writer who will be reading, okay, his or her writing. The audience is the person or group of people the writer is aiming for or trying to reach. Again, when we write, it's not just for one person. Sometimes, yes, it is if it's a personal letter or something. But of course, okay, when you are writing a certain paper, it will reach a lot of people and you have a target, okay, organization or group. Okay, when you're writing about a specific thing about STEM students, then your target is STEM students. Okay, next, when a writer knows the target audience, he or she will shape both of the purpose and tone of the writing to match the audience needs and sometimes their expectations. Okay, only sometimes for expectations. Our main goal is to meet, okay, the audience need because they are reading because basically, okay, they are looking for some information. Hey, here, what if you were asked to write about how a student can succeed in school? For instance, what if your target audience is a group of second graders? Imagine talking about succeeding in school to a group of second graders, grade 2 students. So, how will you do that? So, you can, okay, use here your creativity. Hey, kid, do you want to know how to get good grades in school? Busby the Owl has a few tips for you. Okay? Because of the presence of creativity, Busby the Owl, okay, the grade 2 students will get curious. How will Busby the Owl, okay, will help us, okay, on succeeding in school. Right? Here, the tone of this writing is definitely geared for children, but it is pretty clear that the same speech will not be well received by the average college freshman. Okay, because we are not going to believe with the presence of Busby the Owl, but it is made to engage, okay, with the target audience who are the grade 2 pupils. Right? Next, here, many students assume that the instructor or the teachers are your primary audience for the writing. Although your instructor may be your audience for an essay, he or she may also expect you to write for your classmates or others in your field of your study. Okay? Your teachers are your secondary readers. Your primary audience should be the one who can relate and who will benefit the most, okay, to your writing. Next, problems caused by not understanding your target audience. You're going to provide too much or sometimes lack, okay, of details or background information. If you don't know who's going to read this, then you have to go back at the beginning. You know your purpose, then you're supposed to know, okay, who will be the audience. Next, you're going to provide too much details on unrelated subtopics or on a well-known topic. Okay, that's something that we want to avoid, okay, because we want to, okay, give out information that is necessary and needed only, and not focus too much on irrelevant thoughts or ideas. Next, using the wrong language or unfamiliar terminology. What if grade 2 students? Are you going to use highfalutin words? What if older people? Are you going to use, okay, highfalutin words? Okay, so you have to consider that. And this is one of the problems that we will encounter, okay, when we are writing. Next, you're going to assume that the audience level of interest in or understanding of the topic. This is one thing, no, that we want to avoid also. It's very important. We don't get to assume, okay, what they like and what they dislike and their level of understanding. You feel like, oh, I just mentioned this because I feel like they already know. No, okay, we cannot say if someone knows it or not. Right? So don't assume those kind of things, no, the interest and the understanding or comprehension of your readers. Lastly, we have our subject. Effective writing depends on the writer's ability to limit the scope of the subject. It's not about how long or how many you can write, but your ability to limit, okay, what you are going to write about. Academic texts have limits. Your readers have limits also. We don't have all the time in the world. Okay? Mentioned here, we have limited time also. And of course, the massive amounts of information to absorb. Okay? Of course, if it's like information overload, how can we process? How can we remember? Okay, all of this information. Okay? Next, our task is to provide important information in the space we are given. Let's say, for example, this is your task. You're going to write a persuasive essay, and then you should have 4 paragraphs, okay, with a minimum of 500 words to 2,000 words only. Okay, so that's the space given to us, and that's include the time also. You have 1 week, you have 2 days to do this. Eh, for example, the subject of your writing is about depending the movies at Metro Manila Film Festival 2021. Okay? Although we begin with your own experiences if you are an spectator of the Metro Manila Film Festival. Of course, you have to understand and develop, okay, your topic. And that depends on how you research. Okay? And when you research, you have to make sure that these online resources, no, are they credible enough? Are the writers, okay, credible enough to write, okay, about this certain topic? And of course, you have to think of if the reader will accept information from these sources. Right? And next, here are the text used across disciplines. We have book review or article critique. They are under the same umbrella because of their purpose. Next, we have project proposal and position paper. But, okay, we'll talk about this on the part 2 of this lesson. That's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good day.